Welcome back to the CodeIsha Training Center. So in this session, we will discuss about the Python basics. Okay, so let's get into the slides. So coming to the this session agenda is what is Python and why is the Python? Okay, and these Python where we can use and writing our first program. Okay, and variables, data type, user input, conditional statements, loops, and final will also write the piece of code for mini use case. Okay, so let's get into the main slides. Coming to the what is Python. Python is a simple and easy programming language. Okay, and it can use it to give instructions to computers. Okay, and it designed to be readable like English. Okay, and it is very great for whoever the learning to programming language like Python. So it is best for beginners. Okay, so and coming to the next one, why is Python? So easy to learn and we can use this Python program language. Okay, and it is less code comparing to the any other programming language like Java or JavaScript. Okay, and it have huge community support. Okay, and this Python programming language is used in trendy technologies like AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and coming to the data science also. Okay, so these are all using this Python programming language. Okay, and coming to the way Python is used, like we can use this Python programming language in web development and data science and artificial intelligence. Okay, and we can use these for automation and we can use for game development purpose also. Okay, so this is a Python where we can use. Okay, and coming to the next, so here's the creating the file and with the extension. Okay, so let's think about the taking HTML, right? So in HTML, when we are saving the file, so what is main thing? So we need to give the name and with the dot extension, nothing but HTML, right? So same like that here also, same like that only, but here we can use the dot py. Okay, so dot py extension. Okay, when we are saving the file, okay, we need to give the dot py extension. Okay, so let's see. So here's a Python files end with the dot py extension. Okay, so like we can give the name. Okay, file name, and last one ends with dot py extension. Okay, and here's a when we are run that piece of file, we need to use the Python, and then whatever we need file, okay, we need to call that file with the py extension. Okay, so already we are saved that file with the py extension, right? So same you need to call here only. Okay, so up to okay everything, right? Okay, so this is the creating the file, new file. Okay, and this is the execute that file. Okay, so this is the execute that file. Okay, and coming to the next one, here's our first Python programming language writing. Okay, so let's see how we can write that piece of line code. Okay, and here's first when we need to display that output, okay, we need to use the here print. Okay, so let's take JavaScript. We can use what console.log, right, for printing the values or output, whatever we need, logs or any other text, we need to use the console.log, right? But here we need to use print. Okay, so in Python we can use the print for display the output. Okay, and here's our first Python programming language output. Okay, so first we need to use give the print, and inside the whatever we need display the content. Okay, whatever we need to display the inside the output, we need to add inside these brackets. Okay, and let's back into the code editor. So see, I'm giving here first line print. Okay, print, and giving the colon hello dot wall. Okay, so Once we are written like this, okay, let's click on the run button. Okay, so let's click on run button. It shows here. Okay, let's, okay, okay, now it is okay, right? So it will display the value here. So let's try to one more, taking the another values also. Okay, so I'm going to the giving some more welcome to Python basics session. Okay, like this, and again I'm click on the run button, so it will run and it will shows the here. Okay, it will shows after the hello world. See, let's see, welcome to Python basic session. Okay, so up to okay, right? And let's back into the slides. So and next, here's some more printing the values. Okay, so like adding the numbers and adding the with the text and the number. Okay, so let's see, let's back into the code editor, and here I'm giving the print. Okay, print inside the I'm giving the 200. Okay, so let's click on that. See here it showcase the 200, right? 200. And again I'm also adding the here one more thing. Okay, print CodeIsha training center. Okay, and here I'm giving the with the number also. Okay, 2026. So let's click on run button, so it will execute and it will showcase that output. Okay, let's click on that and let's draw. See, here's a with the text and the number. Okay, so up to okay, right? Everything, how to print the values with the text or numbers. Okay, and coming to the next one, variables. Okay, so variables is used to the stored data. Okay, so like think like it's a box storing the values. Okay, whatever we are given the values, so it will store into that variables. Okay, so you see here name equal to John, or age, any like date or any other date of birth or location values. Okay, so those are values it stores into the variables. Okay, so let's see how we can declare that and how we are assigning the values for variables and how we can call to display that variable values. Okay, so let's back into the code editor. Okay, so I'll remove these all things. Okay, so first what we need to do, we need to declare the variables, right? So in JavaScript we can, first of all we need to give the var or let or constant, right? Before declaring the variables. But here Python no need any other like that. Okay, so see, just I'm giving the name. Okay, and here assigning the values for variables. Okay, so let's John. Okay, and now I need to see these name values, like printing the values. Okay, like display output. Okay, these whatever we are given the name, that name values I need to display in the output. Okay, so what we need to do when we need to print the values, what we need to use, print the, right? So print. Okay, so inside close bracket I'm calling that variable name. Okay, just finish. Let's run this code, click on that, so it will showcase the name. Okay, so let's see, and again one more name also I'm calling. Okay, so I'm calling the role. Okay, so here I'm going to the python developer. Okay, so I need to display these values. What we need to do, we need to call in the print, right? Print inside the close bracket, we need to call that variable name. So once it is done, let's click on the run, so it will showcase here. Oops, something happens. Yeah, now it's okay. So here's the name and the here's the Python developer. Okay, so up to okay, right? How we can give the variables. Okay, so let's remove all these, and one more I'm adding the year. Okay, here I'm going to the 2026. I'm calling to this print the values print with year variable name, and let's see run piece of code. Yep, so it's successfully displayed the whatever we are called that variable, so it will display in the output, right? So up to okay, right? And come back into the slides. So now we are discuss about the some data types inside the Python. So we have the integer, float, string, okay, booleans, okay. So true or false. Okay, let's see adding the true or false. Okay, I'll remove these are all. So active equal to true. Okay, so I'm calling that active. So let's see, I don't know what it comes. So let's, once it is done and run piece of code, let's see what it shows. True. So I think true. So let's click run this piece of code. So now it is not work because we need to give the values like this and run this code, and now it is shows. So let's try to giving the value false, small letter. So let's see is it work or not. Click on that, so it not work. So I'll give the like this capital and run piece of code. Yep, now it is work, right? So here's a boolean thing. Okay, boolean data type. And we are also done integer, string, and the booleans, right? And float percentage things we need to use. Okay, so up to okay, right? And coming to the taking user input. Okay, so when we need whenever the entering the user, so we need to showcase that values, okay, on into the display output. Okay, so how we can do, first of all we need to declare the variable. Okay, and then we need to give the values for input. Okay, so inside that whatever we need to give the text. Okay, so that showcase the end user. So you need to enter your name, or you need to enter your number, or you need to enter your email address. Okay, so once it is done, so click on giving the values. So execute that piece of code, it will showcase the hello, whether it is email or whether it is number, whether it is year. Okay, so based on things it will showcase that values inside the display output. Okay, so this user input is makes program interactive. Okay, so let's try to, here we have the name, right? So let's taking the email address. Okay, so let's write the piece of code. So erase these are all things, and now I am declaring the email equal to, okay, inside that I am giving the input. Okay, so with brackets, inside the close brackets I am giving the enter your enter your current email enter your current email address. Okay, so email address. So once it is done, what we need to showcase, we need to print the values. Okay, so I'm giving here like here your mail address. Okay, here your mail, so I'll give the only mail. Okay, and up to okay, right? And here I'm calling what we need to showcase that values, right? So whatever the end user enter inside this. Okay, so I need to showcase that values. So whatever the end user enters the values, so where it can store, it can store into the email variable, right? So for that I'm calling that email variable here. Okay, to showcase that values. Okay, so up to okay, right? So now let's click on input here. Okay, so we have the here input text. Okay, as of now we don't have any given. Okay, so let's click on run. So it will, yep. So now we need to give the input values because of we are given here, we are created that variable with the input, right? So for that we need to give here variables, okay, email values. So I'm going with the test gmail.com, okay. So let's click on the run. So it will run and it will showcase after the here your mobile address. So here the give the values whatever we are given the input values, okay. So let's see. So click on run. uh, I think network is not working. Yeah, okay, now it works, okay. So see, you are not given here double quote, okay. So for that it won't running, okay. So let's giving the enter the values for this, okay. So before giving the values, let's run this code. Let's see what it any output is there. So we don't have any output here, okay. So here I'm giving the output values and let's, okay. So see here we don't have any output values. So I'm giving here test gmail.com, okay. So once we are given these values and then run the piece of code, okay. So it will first we are enter here the email address, right? And then we need to give once we are given the values whatever the email address, so it will store into the these email variable, okay. So inside the variables values we are calling here, so to print the values, okay, with the variable name. So we are given the values here, so it will store into this email variable, and from email variable we are displaying the values with the help of the print, okay. So let's click on run. See, here's a final output, okay. So first enter your current email address, okay. So once we are entered that address here, so it will showcase here your email address, okay. So whatever we are given the input values, so it will showcase here, okay. So up to okay, right, everything. And let's back, so let's back into the printing sorry, slides. And here's a conditional statements, okay. So conditional statements defines the decisions, okay. So based on the decisions we need to showcase the values, okay. So for example, if it is rains, so take umbrella, okay. So if it is not rains coming, so let's take off that umbrella, okay. So like decisions on, okay. So we can we need any decisions, we need to give the conditional statements inside that based on our decisions, okay. So here's the use case, okay. So here's a variable is there, so variable name is age, okay. So whatever have the that variable values like before or 18, okay. So greater than 18 is there, okay. So we need to print the values you can vote, okay. So less than like not greater than 18, okay. So like less than 18, so we need to showcase that you cannot vote, okay. So let's try to write the piece of code for this, okay, how it runs, let's see, okay. So let's back into the code editor. So here's the conditional statements and I'll remove these are all things, okay. So I'm giving the age here, so I don't given any values. So if age greater than, okay, so greater than 18, okay. So I need to print the values what I need to showcase, you can, you can vote, okay. Or else print you cannot vote, okay. So as of now I'm not given any I'm not any assign the values for that variables, okay. So let's run this code. let's see whatever it is showcase. So we don't have any showcase because we are not given the any values here. Okay, so here's the values. Okay, so whatever here, what is the requirement, age is 18. Okay, so that time only you can vote. Okay, otherwise you cannot vote, right? So we need to showcase these values. So let's see. So first of all, I'm giving the 10. Okay, so when we given the age value is 10, so what it shows is, it first it will check if condition. Okay, so if the this if condition is match, okay, whatever we were given the criteria it match, so it will showcase the print the this value. Okay, so once we are not here the not match these criteria, it will go to the else condition. Okay, so let's check inside this. So if it is here, okay, so it will print these values. Okay, so as of now what we are given, age equal to 10, right? So is it if condition is correct, is it match? I think it won't match. Okay, so it will runs, it will go to the else block, it will print these values. Okay, okay, let's see, run the piece of code. See, you cannot vote because your age is under 18, so for that you cannot vote. Okay, so let's try, I'm giving the 90. Okay, so now is it work? Definitely it's work because of age is greater than 19, sorry, greater than 18, right? So for that it will showcase the you can vote. Okay, so let's run piece of code. See, you can vote. Okay, so this is a conditional statements, make decisions making. Okay, so let's back into the presentation, and here's the loops. So these loops we can use the values, like use the print, or you can use these loops for repeated task multiple times up to whatever we are condition is given inside that. So it will runs up to that conditions reach. Okay, so that is called loops. Okay, so inside loops it runs up to whatever we are given the requirement, it will runs up to that ends loop. Okay, so see here, we need to use for loops. Okay, so we need to give for. Okay, and given the variable name. Okay, so whether it is I or anything, so inside that in range up to. Okay, so like 5 or 10 or 15. Okay, so whatever our requirement we need to give here, so it will print up to whatever we are given the requirement. Okay, so let's back into the code editor, erase these are all. So we need to give first for loop. Okay, and I'm giving the count. Okay, variable name. So inside that count whatever are given, so it will range. Okay, so inside range whatever we are given, it will run up to there, up to whatever you given the number, it will up to runs inside the loops. Okay, so I'm giving here python. Okay, so python, so it will runs up to whatever we are given. So I'll giving only first one. Okay, so let's see what it happens. Oops, anything wrong? Count, I, so everything right. Sorry, we need to give here colon. Okay, see here we have the colon, right? So now it runs, let's click on run. Oops, what happened? So let's try to make changes from 5 to 1 to 5. Still it won't count. So I think it will take only I. So whether it is supports only I, let's click on that. Okay, wait, so let's try one more time for and the count. Okay, so inside count I need to showcase that values range up to like 5. Okay, so I need to print the values, so like all. Okay, so we need to give inside the double quotes. Okay, so up to here, so it will runs 5 times. Okay, inside that loops. Okay, so let's run. See, here's the run. So how many we have? 1 2 3 4 5, right? So I'll change it 1. Okay, so let's run. So it will comes 1. Okay, so inside the loop whatever we are given, so let's try to, I'll give the 100. Okay, so it will runs up to 100 inside the loop. Okay, so let's click on that. See, it will print up to 100. Okay, up to 100. Okay, so this is a loop. uh okay, loop conditions. Okay, let's back into the code editor, and here's a one more mini use cases for you. Okay, so and here's the first, we need to declare the variable num. Okay, so inside that give the values. Okay, and give the if condition. Okay, see here whatever we are given the variable values. Okay, so divided with 2. Okay, so once divided with 2, remainder is equal to 0. Okay, so once it is remainder equal to 0, it will showcase the even number. Okay, or else it will showcase the odd number. Okay, so let's try to run this piece of code writing in your practice. Okay, so let's see what it happens, and if anything your doubts, so let's comment below, I'll reply to you. Okay, so let's move on to the next. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you will find helpful this video. Okay, so if anything you need queries about the software technologies courses. Okay, so let's contact us, I'll explain it. Feel free to you. Okay, so thank you everyone, thank you.